with Hometown Acres, welcome back. So today we are on the road. We packed up the Easton Made 1222 and we came to visit Joe with Ohio Woodburner. So Joe has a firewood channel. He is a full-time firewood seller. Tell us a little bit about your channel, Joe, and what you do.
Yeah, so it's real nice to have you here, Adam. We're in Northeast Ohio. We are a real small firewood delivery service, but I was able to make it a full-time endeavor. I was able to leave my real job, and now I sell firewood.
And Joe covers a lot more things when it comes to running a firewood business than I do. He covers the daily grind, the actual selling of firewood and making calls, and what time of the week is the best time to make your cold calls to sell firewood, and just every end of the business side of it. And I really enjoy your channel. I've watched, I think, just about every video you've posted.
Thank you.
And I've actually taken a few tips away from his channel. So if you enjoy the firewood side of my channel, you ought to go check out Ohio Woodburner. So Joe runs a Yapa 365 Pro firewood processor, and we brought the Easton Made 1222 here. We're going to do a little time test here to kind of see what the speed difference is between running a chainsaw and a commercial splitter versus running a firewood processor. Now, when you have firewood poles like what Joe has, obviously we already know this is going to be faster, but we would kind of want to talk about the pros and cons of both machines, so stick around. So Joe, walk me around this machine here real quick and show me how it works.
Sure. Guys, this is a Yapa 365 Pro. It is made in Finland, and I bought it off of Metza Machine from Wisconsin. They're the importer. This is a professional grade firewood processor. It has about a 5.5 second cycle time from cut to split. This is the kind of machine that you want if you're buying your logs off of a logger. So the logs that come onto our wood lot come off of a semi or a triaxle. They're just think about maybe like a telephone pole. This machine can pick the log up off the ground. It runs it through an infeed and through a 4, 6, or 8-way knife out the conveyor and to its final resting point. I can just give you a walk around. So it's made in Europe. The European machines have a lot of safety features on them, and the first safety feature is the hood. If the hood is lifted up, it kills all of the hydraulics, so nothing's going to work on it. It has a 15-inch saw and chain, and this is just a standard size bar that you can get in any saw shop. It has an adjustable log stop, so you can set your length at any inch that you want. I have it set on 16-inch right now. It has an adjustable knife, and that's the 4-way, but it comes with a 4, 6, and 8. There's a 7-foot outfeed on it, and the Yapa comes with 2 different. I have the shorter one. It has a 14-foot with a slewing capability, so you can move it from side to side. It has a really unique log lift design. It's compact, it's pretty safe. This log, we'll show it to you here, but it swings up and you push the log onto this tower head roller and the infeed, and these two work in conjunction to send the log down through the trough. This will cut a maximum 14-inch log, and it is pretty strong. The splitter, I have never had this splitter jam on a 4-way knife. It will jam up on the 8-way, but you can tell sometimes just logs aren't going to split because there's a knot in them or it's just got a bad curve. The engine is a Honda 690, and it's pretty economical. I go through about 1 gallon per cord of fuel usage, so it works pretty good. It also uses just regular bar and chain oil too. It has a detachable gas tank. This is like a boat tank, and what's nice is that you can just take this off and take it down to the gas station. You don't have to bring another can with a funnel and risk spilling it on your land. This is, it's 3-point hitch. This is where it was here, and here, and this is the hole that punches out where the PTO shaft would have gone into.
All right, so before we get to our little speed test here, I'm going to get well acquainted with this machine. I want to run a couple of logs through it, and then we'll get to our little race. So stick around. All right, so here's the setup we have here. Easton made 1222 sitting here. We have an 8-foot log, which is approximately 6 blocks. This log here is 8.5 inches in diameter. We've got the Yapa 365 set up over here with the same exact length log. Now this one is a little bit larger in diameter. It's 9.5 inches, but it's close enough. And especially since you've got a big advantage having a processor, so.
So that was, you hustled, man.
I was getting after it, yeah.
Yeah, I had 2 problems with mine. There's sometimes when there's like this weird piece in the log, the bar comes down and it quits pushing.
Yeah.
And I had to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And my very first cut took me forever to get it done, but
The biggest problem with me was I couldn't cut all the way through, so I had to make 6 cuts, roll the log, and then do the other 6 cuts. I was pretty surprised on that. The Easton made only finished about 60 seconds, you know, a full minute behind the Yapa Firewood processor. But, you know, take that with a grain of salt. That was one 8-foot log. If you were to extrapolate that out to a full cord, I'm gonna slow down a lot faster than the Firewood processor is. So, you know, you can't keep up that pace when you're doing everything manually, but the processor can. I mean, really, you don't touch the wood at all when you're running this thing.
yeah, just for loading it. But you know, there's solutions to that too if you had a live deck, which might be coming for me one day.
Yeah.
But you know, I can also speak to, you know, when we're talking about just an 8-foot log and towards making an entire cord, when I decided to go with the Firewood processor, I was looking long term, as in 8 to 10 years down the road. Could I physically, and I'm in my 50s, be able to live bent over a saw making 200 cords of wood a year? And you know, the answer to that is no. No, I couldn't. So in order for me to continue to live this lifestyle, in order for me to be profitable and grow, I needed machinery. And my research led me to this Yapa 365 Pro.
I hear you on bending over saw, because I bought a tractor and a grapple so that I can lift up the logs and buck standing up rather than bent over. And yeah, you know, if you're bent over, you can buck for like 15 minutes and then your back is killing you. Whereas if you're standing up straight, or if you have something like this, you can go all day long. All right, so obviously under those perfect conditions, we know that a processor is going to be faster, but when you change the conditions, the tides turn. The Easton made 1222 is gonna come out on top when you have big, ugly, gnarly stuff like this. These are 30 to 36 inch red oak rounds, and you can't run them through a processor, you just can't. For myself, I get a lot of my free wood from a tree service guy, not loggers. And the difference between a tree service guy and a logger is, a logger's back in the forest, all of the trees in the forest are gonna be fighting for sunlight. They're gonna grow straight as an arrow, straight up, very few low-hanging branches, very few knots. But when a tree service guy comes and take a log from your front yard, it's got all the room in the world to spread out and branch out, and it's got knots just like this here. So for my needs, commercial grade log splitter better suits me because I don't have access to straight firewood poles like Joe does here. So the first log we're going to run through here is right at 33 inches. So one thing I haven't talked about much with this Easton made splitter is what do you do when you get a piece stuck? So right now we've got this 30-inch red oak here, and there is a huge knot coming off the bottom here. So this knot has held us up here. So what do you do when you get it stuck? Well, you could get out a sledgehammer and try to beat on this for half an hour to get it out. Or what I usually do is I will use the hydraulically adjustable wedge and wiggle it up and down to free this off. So I'll show you that right now.
There is not a machine, a log splitter, a firewood processor on the planet that doesn't get jammed. So this is good to see, you know, that there are still limitations, but you can still work around it. We just inadvertently set the wedge right on this big knot. So what we're going to do now is just work around it.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little comparison between a commercial grade log splitter and a commercial grade firewood processor. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Go check out Joe's YouTube channel, Ohio Woodburner. Subscribe to his channel, subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.